Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the 2025 State of the City Address for the City of Woodland. It's so great to see you here. Thank you all for being here. Yeah. It's an honor for me to be here tonight, as we talk about Woodland, and it's so wonderful to be here at Woodland Community College in this beautiful venue. Let's give it up for Woodland Community College. How amazing is this place? Really great to be here with you tonight. This event truly showcases our community's strength, our resilience, and vibrant spirit, serving as a wonderful opportunity for us to come together tonight to celebrate our shared success and build a stronger future. My name is Clay Merrill. I'm a local government affairs representative for Pacific Gas and Electric Company here in Yolo County. I'm also a proud board member of the Woodland Chamber of Commerce, who is putting this on tonight. So thank you so much to our Woodland Chamber staff for all the hard work and effort they do in not only serving our businesses, which serve you as citizens, but also putting on this wonderful event tonight. So thank you to everyone who has played a part in this. So we're here to reflect on the past year's achievements and look forward to the exciting future that lies ahead for us in the City of Woodland. So before we get started though, these events can't happen without the support of sponsors, people who put in time, money, and resources to help this. So we want to really give a round of applause for all of our sponsors, starting with our leading sponsor, Dignity Health. Thank you, Dignity Health. And our diamond sponsors, we have Clark Pacific, Prefabricated Building Solutions, as well as Waste Management of Woodland. Round of applause for these sponsors. Thank you. And then we have our Emerald sponsors, First Northern Bank, Marriott Fairfield Inn and Suites, and Holiday Inn Express, Perfect Union, Travis Credit Union, Woodland Motors and Woodland Ford, Woodland Cannabis Dispensary, and YOLO Federal Credit Union. A big round of applause for our Emerald sponsors. Thank you so much. Another thank you to Woodland Community College for hosting us tonight at this beautiful new Performing Arts and Culinary Center. And this is a great location that we're really, really happy to be here tonight. We're also thankful to Mootens Productions for our amazing media and videography production, and to Woodland TV, who is going to be publishing a recording of this event so the whole community can join in. We also want to recognize our local leaders and elected officials in attendance. So with us tonight, we have our Mayor, Rich Landsberg, who we'll be hearing from shortly. We also have Tanya Garcia Cadena with us. We have David Moreno. Is David here? David, there's David. We have Tom Stollard. Let's give it up for Tom Stollard. And then Myra Vega. Thank you to all of your time and effort in promoting and making Woodland a great place to live. We also have our city manager, Ken Hyatt, who we'll be hearing from shortly. We have the Chief of Police, Ryan Canan. Thank you for being here, Ryan. The Yolo County Assessor, Clerk Recorder, Elections Official, Jesse Salinas. Is Jesse here? There we go. I've heard him called the busiest man in Yolo County. Is that true? Yeah. Okay, it is true. We also have the President of Woodland Community College, Dr. Lizette Navarrete, who we'll be hearing from shortly. Thank you for being such a great hostess. From the Yolo County Office of Education, we have Superintendent Garth Lewis. There's Mr. Garth. The 3rd District Chief of Staff to Yolo County Supervisor Mary Vixie Sandy, Dottie Pritchard. The District Representative for Congressman Mike Thompson, Lucy Brazil. Field Representative for Assemblymember Cecilia Aguiar Curry, Eliana Pimentel. District Representative for State Senator Chris Cabaldan, Emiliano Rosas. From the Yuba Community College District, we have Chancellor Sean Pan. Thank you for being here. External Affairs Associate with the California Department of Justice, Devon Thomas. The Press Secretary for Speaker of the California State Assembly, Cynthia Moreno. We also have some representatives from the Sacramento Area Council of Governments. So thank you all for being here. We also have the president of the board of directors for the Woodland Chamber of Commerce, Kelly Jacobson. Is Kelly here? Awesome. Okay, thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. We're going to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Lizette Navarrete, for the president of Woodland Community College.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Woodland Community College. It is such an honor to have you here in this incredible space on a really great night that celebrates partnerships and, most importantly, community. As Woodland Community College, we're proud to have the name community in our name because it is so important to everything that we do. I want to begin by thanking our incredible Woodland Community College staff that help make every day possible here, that make students' dreams come true, and our faculty as well. So if you join me in thanking the hardworking people at Woodland Community College. I really appreciate the Woodland Chamber of Commerce for their partnership and trust in this really important event. And want to thank today in particular also and recognize the City of Woodland and the Woodland City Council for their important work and their partnership. Before I do that, again, a big thank you to the Yuba Community College District, our home district, and Chancellor Pan, and we have today here also Trustee Jose Garcia, so thank you. Today we're very excited about the remarks that you'll hear from Mayor Landsberg and City Manager Ken Hyatt, and they'll highlight the importance of partnership. And one key partnership that we're launching today is Reconnect at WCC. Reconnect at WCC for us is a way of looking at not only closing opportunity gaps in our community, but really thinking about expanding pathways for socioeconomic mobility. It is our commitment to adults, working adults, adult learners, to come back to college, to finish strong. And for us, Reconnect at WCC is an initiative that is giving an incentive that is needed to return to college. And it's not just an invitation to return to college, it is a commitment. It is a commitment of support, a commitment of opportunity, and of belonging. We are proud to launch this first of its kind partnership with the City of Woodland that really works and supports adult learners in our community to continue those partnerships and that mobility. It is a reaffirming of our efforts and our shared commitment to everyone that we serve here. So we are excited to tell our community more about this incentive for adults 26 and older to come back. And again, I want to thank you all for joining us, especially the City of Woodland, for this important partnership and the many ways that you partner with us. So with that, thank you very much. And I am excited to hand it back over to Clay. Welcome to Woodland again.
Thank you, Dr. Navarrete, and thank you again for being such a wonderful host for us tonight. We're going to cede some time also to our leading sponsor, Dignity Health. Again, we can't do this without their support, so I want to turn it over to Gina Bravo, who is the president and CEO of Woodland Memorial Hospital.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gina Bravo, Hospital President and CEO at Dignity Health Woodland Memorial Hospital, a proud Woodland resident and a former Woodland Chamber member. It is an honor to be here tonight and to join many others who care deeply about the city and its future. Thank you to the Chamber and the city for hosting this important event. The state of the city is always a powerful reminder of how we and what we can accomplish when we all work together. For over 120 years, Woodland Memorial Hospital has been part of the fabric of this community, serving families across Yolo, Solano, and Colusa counties. And while much has changed in that time, one thing has remained constant: our commitment to compassionate and high-quality care. Today, Woodland Memorial Hospital offers a full complement of services, including cancer care, women's health, orthopedics, and adult day services, ensuring our community has access to advanced care close to home. That commitment shines through in every member of our team. Today, we are proud to employ more than 1,000 local hospital and clinic professionals, from nurses and environmental services to food professionals to administrators. Together, they make our hospital not just a place of healing, but a vital part of Woodland's community, economy, and identity. Our care extends far beyond our hospital walls. In the last fiscal year, we invested $30 million in community benefit programs across Yolo County, and $2.8 million spent on uncompensated care. These dollars supported Medicaid coverage, food access, education, and local nonprofits like Empower Yolo, Fourth and Hope, Thriving Pink, Yolo County's Children's Alliance, Yolo Food Bank, and Meals on Wheels, and many others. It's one of the ways we help make sure health and wellness are within reach of every member of our community. We are also investing in the future of medicine right here at home. This year, we're introducing the Da Vinci robotic surgical system to Woodland Memorial, bringing cutting-edge technology to our local patients and expanding across to advanced minimally invasive care without having to leave the community. And hot off the press, our robot just arrived this morning, and we're hoping to do our first surgery with it by the end of the summer. As a former board member of the Chamber, I know how vital local partnerships are to building a strong and thriving city. We're grateful to work alongside so many of you, from business leaders and educators to elected officials and fellow nonprofits, to help ensure Woodland remains a place where people feel supported, connected, and most importantly, cared for. Thank you again for this opportunity and for the trust you place in us. Woodland isn't just where we work, it's our home, and we are so proud to serve this community every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina, and again, thank you to Dignity Health for sponsoring this event. We're very, very grateful for their support. Okay, it is now my honor to introduce to you our Mayor, Rich Landsberg. Mayor Landsberg is a Woodland resident, has been a Woodland resident since 1966, and a District 1 resident for 30 years. After graduating from Woodland High School and attending law school, he became a California bar member in 1995. His career includes working at Cranston Brothers Hardware and serving in the Woodland Police Department from 1976 to 1997 in various roles, culminating as a lieutenant. He then became a general practice attorney, serving the community for over 20 years. Elected to the Woodland City Council in 2018, Mayor Landsberg prioritizes economic development, addressing homelessness, improving street conditions, and enhancing public safety. He aims to provide quality services and respond to community needs, working towards making Woodland a better place to live and work. Let's give a big round of applause to our Mayor, Rich Landsberg.
Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get started tonight, we have a very, very special treat for you. It'll be on the screen here. What it is a very short presentation on what we believe represents this city, your city. By the way, this is the premiere of this video. Enjoy.
Dear Woodland, my city, you're inspiring, admiring, and affection. It's in our wiring to foster neighborly connection in each section. Our venues build new menus as our leaders continue sketching. Got me reflecting, but looking toward our forward direction. Feel our roots. They're immersed in our cherished and sacred history. Our ancestors' thirst and grit, they couldn't quit. laid foundations for our victory. See, we're old souls with playful spirit, so each time we come of age, we're classic but stay novel, so we always turn the page. I love our small town feel, mixed with real big city confidence, coming from where the local ag conglomerates grow in prominence. Our heart is dominant in our people and within our land. Will we rise? Si puedo, it's in the bag and in the can. We don't just market for our farmers, we cultivate good karmas. From the land to our artists, we plant good seeds and reap the harvest. If you're ready to plant something special and you need relief found in a partner, city leaders bring the ardor and guide like our chief gardener. The infrastructure's fertile soil for your enterprise to grow in. We move together to knock down hurdles, so now you're off and going. Whether you're a vet or making a new family beginning in it, we pull our resources to build success. Soon we'll all be swimming in it. You want to see what collaboration can birth with imagination? Like bringing a regional park to its full-scale activation. Our food system mission and vision has us staying vocal, to be organic, sustainable, healthy, cutting edge, remaining local. If you're consumed by infectious passion, we're your loom for collective action. The most upscale tractors and factories making traction. Your shared aspirations and our perspiration ensure the pure way we stay the quintessential woodland that will always endure. And when it's time to unwind, we throw no axes to grind or find vines that consign the wines that taste divine. We satisfy all tastes and might embrace some craft suds. We won't break our pace. We take our rightful place in every acre we embrace. Educate kids in a maker space. We're a community of different walks, but we hold common as doers, who nourish our lands and each other as good stewards. En Woodland se cruzan caminos y acentos, emprenden con fuerza, con firmes cimientos. Latinos y Chicanos no están solo en la jugada, lo sueñan, lo hacen y encienden la llama. We'll make it golden. You're emboldened. Transportation, watch the unfolding as we keep you rolling. In Woodland, you call the tune. You can find your own rhythm. Witness our business fitness and how our people stay driven, enjoying our spice and a slice of the good life. It's automatic, no dramatics, just hitting all the high notes like we're operatic. Innovation is in our eyes, it's in our social enterprise, but caretaking for others, that's how we make Woodland rise. In the land and in our lives, we strive to craft organic balance, to use our diversity of gigantic talents to rise to any challenge. You're not a fantasy, flawless village with no blemish to an image. But when it's time to help our neighbors, it's game time, never a scrimmage. We designed to restore a dreamer's mind, to pay homage to our lineage. A friend alone to the nth degree, no relaxing without a home's lock and key. Gets maximum empathy and is never an enemy. We uplift with urgency, we act not just figuratively. Restore a sense of self, like how we promote health and dignity. Our civic flavors are leading spark, but our neighbors are our beating heart. Like artisans a cut above who leave their mark, who put meaning in their art. We're writing the next chapter if you seek greener pastures. We're your why because we have all your X factors. We're bringing the next trend, researching, springing up next gen. Even our baristas greet you and treat you to the next blend. If I return from travel, people ask me, hey, where you been? Because in Woodland, if you have a neighbor, you have a friend. To me, Woodland feels destined to where I work, play, and rest in, because our people put their best in, and we show our values by what we invest in. Come join us to do our nesting. My civic family is my truest blessing. With pride, the people of Woodland.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. Let me get started on tonight's presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Chamber Board President Kelly Jacobson, members of the Chamber Board, Executive Director Cynthia Evans and her staff, my fellow electeds, residents of Woodland, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens. It is my pleasure to provide you with the State of the City address tonight. But before I make my remarks, I do want to acknowledge the great work of Kevin and KJ and the team at KJ2 Productions for this great video depicting our city. Also, the poet who wrote the poem, Dear Woodland, and Woodland's own Tomas Montoya for his spoken word performance of Dear Woodland in this video. But this video is just a short glimpse of what Woodland is all about. I could have made this an hour long and we still wouldn't have enough footage. We are very, very proud to share this video with you because we're proud of our city. This video will be found on the city's webpage eventually. We think it's a nice introduction to our city. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the crossroads of our community, past, present, and future, and it is my honor to address you. Our community spirit is unwavering, and it is the bedrock upon which we build our shared future. Economically, Woodland has experienced positive growth. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. I need to make a confession. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but all the really cool mayors in the nation have been talking about artificial intelligence lately. AI this, AI that. So as mayor, I thought I'd try getting ChatGPT to write my speech tonight. I gotta admit, at first I was kind of impressed. I just entered, write a state of the city speech for Woodland, California. 20 seconds later, here's 500 words that weren't too bad, but they weren't great either. I mean, come on. Our spirit is unwavering, the bedrock on which we build our future. I'm sure we've all heard those words before, somewhere. And while true, these words fail to capture the pivotal role of the city of Woodland as it plays in the greater Sacramento region and being identified as a great place to live, to work, and to play. That's the reality that I want to share with you tonight. So while I'm sure Woodland will someday leverage artificial intelligence in an intelligent way, let's set AI aside for now. Let's have a real conversation about this city, the state of our city, Woodland. So now I'm proud to report the state of our city. Let me start with some good news. I do have good news for all of you. Just this last week, your city council adopted a balanced budget for 25-26. Having a balanced budget is not only the law, but it's good practice. How many of you really know that it takes about $225 million to keep this city running? Between enterprise funds of $64 million and a general fund of about $75 million, along with all our other funds, it totals about $225 million. It certainly is expensive to keep the lights on and the water flowing in Woodland, just as it is in your home. We are thankful to our staff who cleverly, intelligently move X's and O's to balance this budget. And I would invite all of you to visit the city's website where you can find the entire budget, including all revenue sources and where all these millions go to. However, there is a bit of bad news regarding the budget. While the 25-26 budget is balanced, it has required us to use about $3.4 million of our general fund reserves just to balance this budget. This is not a good trend. Your council has set a reserve goal of 20% just in case we need that. But we really don't like dipping into those funds. I could pretty much use up all my time on the budget, but I'm not going to do that. But it is projected in the next fiscal year with more than 20% reserves. However, if we continue to see revenues dip, we may have to start looking at trimming here, trimming there, and perhaps a cut here and there. We don't like dipping into those reserves. Now this brings me to the purpose of my remarks today. And I know you're asking the question, what has the city been up to? Well, thank you for asking. I'm glad you asked. You know, it's easy to point out the big ticket items such as the Chamber of Commerce holiday parade, the Honey Festival, the stroll through history. All of those are very important to the city. You should also know what our 300 plus employees do every day, every year, 24/7. These are the unsung accomplishments that we see, but perhaps may not appreciate every day. For example, From July 1 through December of last year, our Public Works Department completed 105,000 square feet of asphalt patching on our surface streets. And I know what you're thinking, it may not be enough, and you're right, but they're at it every year. They cleaned out 219 miles of sewer pipe. Ugh. But someone has to do it. By the way, no matter what the label says, please keep those flushable wipes out of our waste system. They clog the works, and it takes quite an effort to clear them pipes. Craig Locke, are you in the building? Craig Locke is our department head. Stand up for just a moment. Be recognized for your department. Our Community Development Department issued $127 million of new permits for projects such as Spring Lake Residential Development and new hotels in Woodland. Brent Meyer, our department head, and his talented staff of planners and engineers handle everything from permits, licensing, code enforcement, engineering, and planning. The city also recently created a position you may have seen in town, the Community Enhancement Services. They are charged with removing debris from public spaces, which is either left behind by the unhoused or people who are just too darn lazy to take their things to the landfill. I'm sure that most of you have seen George Macca out there trying to keep up with the messes and the shopping carts. It's no easy task keeping up with these folks. But just in my opinion only, I think we should increase the fines for littering like we did for illegal fireworks. Brent Meyer's code enforcement staff handled 497 complaints last year from our residents, from you, regarding such things as unpermitted food vendors to substandard housing conditions. Brent Meyer, please stand up for your department. Our water department treated 2.7 billion, yes, billion gallons of water, which is now stored underneath your feet in our underground aquifers. By the way, this water is not for a rainy day, but for those expected dry spells, which will surely be coming soon. Our city library, Woodland's crown jewel, has been very busy with 154,000 visits. And the good news about that is that 28,000 of those visits were by kids. We want kids in the library. The library continues in its efforts to provide the best in library services to our community, along with innovations such as Makerspace, Maker Square, and literary services. Our Community Services Department served 14,701 youth in 2024 in various programs sponsored by the city, such as summer camp, swim lessons, youth boxing, basketball league, spin classes, science classes throughout the year, and they do more than that. Community Services is headed by the very talented Christine Ferrara. Christine, where are you? Our understaffed police department handles 60,000 calls for service a year. That is well over 1,000 calls a week. We can never, ever thank the police department enough for the work they do day in, day out, 24/7, keeping us as safe as possible. And for those of you that don't already know him, let me reintroduce our not-so-new police chief, Ryan Kinnan. Chief Kinnan. Thank you for the great work your department does. You inherited a great department.
Yes, I did.
We must also mention our fire department, led by Chief Eric Zane, who handles 8,000 calls a year, from everything from fires, medical aid, dreaded inspections that you all fear, so do I, and the occasional cat in the tree. But did you know that Woodland Fire Department boasts a CPR success rate of 44%? Which is significantly higher than the national average of just 10% for out-of-hospital cardiac arrest survival. How is this possible, you might ask? Their success in saving lives comes from a combination of rapid response, high-quality CPR, and the use of automated external defibrillators, AEDs. Also, because of their very fast response, it is estimated that the fire department saved over $12 million property value being lost to fires. And that was just in the last 6 months of 2024. We are very, very fortunate to have this talented and dedicated staff at our 3 fire stations. By the way, Chief Zane is on vacation this week. Along with the fire and police departments, we also have a team of co-responders who handled over 1,000 contacts in 2024. And by doing so, they free up and work for the fire and the police department. So we always are grateful for our co-responders. Annually, your city council reviews and establishes goals along with staff and the community. We make a concerted effort to accomplish these goals. In general, these 4 goals, there they are. Improve quality of life, which is pretty simple. We want to make Woodland an exceptional place to live, learn, work, and play. We want to focus on economic development in downtown. We work towards supporting all of you in anticipation of a vibrant local economy and our continued efforts to revitalize downtown. How many of you attend First Friday? More hands. We need more hands. You can't miss those things. Strengthen public safety. Our goal is to ensure as best we can that Woodland is a safe and resilient community. In doing so, we invest in programs to support our youth and our families. And lastly, enhance governance and fiscal responsibility. Here it is our goal to have a city staff committed to transparency and responsibility. Those 2 things are very critical to you. Be transparent, be responsible to you. We are constantly assessing and reassessing our effectiveness in government services. Now, reflective of those comments, in the last year, the city and the council are proud of the many accomplishments we had just the last year. For example, we made available housing to our residents by opening the Vista del Robles 72-unit complex on West Main Street, much needed apartment complex in Woodland. The groundbreaking of the Freeman Garden complex and the ongoing work of the East Beamer complex. At the present time, the city is actively supporting plans for over 200 new additional units of much needed infill and apartment housing. We look forward to those getting built. We're also very proud of the accomplishments and improvements to our parks, such as completing pickleball courts at Crawford Park. We completed the work on 3 new neighborhood parks in the Spring Lake area, and so very, very happy about the grand opening of the 160-acre Woodland Regional Park Preserve on County Road 102. If you get a chance to visit that park, you will experience Mother Nature at her best right here in Woodland. We can't forget the fabulous reclamation of the downtown's Freeman Park. New lawn, repaired gazebo, new plantings, more events, and a whole fresh experience at Freeman Park, including last year's ice skating rink. The folks who live in the area of Thomas and Oak and Campbell Park can tell you that we, the city, listens to people. We listen to them. The residents spoke out about the terrible traffic and speeders in their area. We were able to use our best traffic calming measures and make this entire area a little safer for them. And we understand they're very thankful for that. Speaking of roads, even though it took a while, we finally finished the rehab of Gibson Road, from East Street all the way to County Road 98. That was not a small feat, ladies and gentlemen. We had to endure weather, we had to endure a lot of stoppages. It was not an easy thing, but we got it done. And I'm glad we got it done. Improvements to Gibson included a complete infrastructure enhancement for most of Gibson Road. We also put part of Gibson Road on a road diet. I'm sure you've noticed that some of it was reduced from 4 lanes to 2 lanes, and that's just simply to slow the traffic down. We also completed the much-needed work on Patmore and Gum Avenue, making travel much safer for our residents, bikers, pedestrians, and drivers. We recently completed and dedicated the bike and pedestrian bridge connecting the entire southeast area to Sports Park Drive and Community Center. And by the way, it's the only dedicated bike and pedestrian bridge in our city. We're very proud of the recycled water program that the city of Woodland uses, and we're using that recycled water to irrigate Spring Lake parks and all the green belts. We did that with a state grant, thank you state, and a very low interest loan, thank you bank. We completed entitlement and research of the Research and Tech Park and annexed another 600 acres of industrial area for future development. We also completed work on East Main Street and opened Sprouts, Chipotle, and the Staybridge Hotel. With the great work of Advanced Peace, the city has significantly reduced gun violence. In 2021, we were averaging a shooting a week. Not a good thing. In 2024, we were down to 13 shootings for the whole year. That's an accomplishment. That's progress. We know that Advanced Peace works in collaboration with our police department and our safety partners. So to answer the question, what has the city been up to? This is just a snippet of what goes on day in and day out. But we're not done. In the next year, we hope to continue on the city's adopted goals. Under quality of life, we are just about done, 60% done with the new Aquatic Center. We should have it ready for you to jump in that pool on New Year's Day. This is a great addition to the city and much needed after the closure of Hiddleston Pool. The city is really happy and so proud to partner with Yolo County Housing Authority in their efforts to reposition public housing here in Woodland. And by the way, I see Ian Evans here. Ian Evans, where are you? Stand up. I'm telling you, Ian Evans is working day and night to get this project off the ground. It is going to change Woodland in ways you won't even imagine. It's going to be terrific. We look forward to completing Tupelo Phase 1, which will transform Yolano Village and Donnelly Circle, activate the surrounding neighborhood, and ensure that all residents are stable and thriving in their housing. Our housing authority in the city of Woodland are only one of 13 communities nationwide to receive this grant in 2024. That's a big deal. The transformation plan will focus on redevelopment of the 60 units at Yolanda Village and the 72 units on Donnelly Circle into over 265 high-quality mixed income housing. It's not just going to be public housing, it's going to be mixed. It'll be beautiful. Under economic development, Woodland has a labor force of about 30,000 people here in town, with leading private sector employers across the economic spectrum, including Dignity Health, Clark Pacific, Nugget Markets, Bear Crop Science, Pacific Coast Producers. We work very, very hard in the area of business recruitment, retention, and expansion. We do that by offering fee deferrals and in some cases utility extensions. We look to the entrepreneurial training classes offered by Yolo County Office of Education, GARP, thank you, as well as Woodland Public Library. And now we turn our attention here in the near future to the coming tech park for job diversification, increased higher wages with knowledge-based industries, and more to come in the tech park at a later time. We have also prioritized public safety and infrastructure. How many have you experienced, and I know you all have, the traffic mess in I-5 and 113? We all have. I have challenged our city manager with the task of getting us out of that jam. We need an interchange for I-5 and 113. We need it today not 10 years from now. Without this traffic improvement in that area, it would only get worse. You will hear from our city manager on the progress we are making on just that project. Today, you're also seeing the work and the progress improving roads on Cross Street. You've seen the construction going on, and it's going to be Cross Street from East Street all the way to County Road 98, the entirety of College Street, and all the work on Beamer Street. We're also targeting Fire Station 4. This is a priority for us in order to improve response times in the Spring Lake area. We are exploring options for financing this very much needed station at East Gibson and Bourne Drive. Under governance and fiscal responsibility, we are currently in our third year of sponsoring the Civic Fellowship Program, which has grown in popularity. Are you the Civic Fellows here tonight? A couple of them, okay. This program takes mostly college students who are working on their degrees and who have an interest in public service. And this is a very popular program, so you'll know. We had about 200 applicants for 9 positions. It's an 8-week paid summer program for individuals early in their careers who want that public service experience. By doing so, we invest in our local workforce to foster passion for careers in the public sector. The fellows are assigned to city departments such as Public Works, the library, the police department, and they work on specific projects for their departments. This has been a very valuable program for us as a learning tool for us as well as for them. While all this is really good news, progress, that doesn't mean that we're without challenges. I don't need to remind all of you of the global and national friction and that we're facing such uncertainty and fear in our country, which even affects the things that we do right here in Woodland every day. We can only hope that peace and prosperity remain on the table by our national and our state leaders. I only wish Washington could see the effects of some of their decision-making on our city and our residents, including you. We continue to struggle with developing adequate flood protection from that eventual flood that's going to occur in the city someday. As you know, we were unsuccessful in getting our voters to approve a plan which would have yielded untold protection for our residents. That doesn't mean we fold our tent and move on, does it? We continue to work towards finding the appropriate flood protection and solution for our community. Hopefully, with the majority of our residents agreeing that the need is here, the need is for tomorrow, and there's a solution out there for everybody. Homelessness. Where do we begin on homelessness? Well, I'll tell you, the city is focused on 2 things that have the most impact on homelessness: housing and public safety. As you have heard, we are known as a leader in housing policy, and our East Beaver campus is a statewide model for co-located housing and services. Statewide model, ladies and gentlemen, right here in town. We've allocated significant resources to our police department's great host team to reach out to those folks and connect them to the place that they need to be. We know that progress in the area of homelessness may be slow, but we are confident that we are doing the right things to address this very challenging situation. Homelessness is not inevitable. It is a problem that humanity can solve with compassion, understanding, and action. Humanity is not measured by how we treat those with everything, but how we care for those with nothing. I'm going back to East Main Street congestion. We really need that interchange. And I'm making a point here, ladies and gentlemen. Contact your legislators, contact the Congress people. We need that interchange in Woodland. I'm going to end my remarks tonight with a reminder that from remarkable communities such as Woodland come some very remarkable people who accomplish remarkable things. We know that Woodland is home, or was home, to so many notable people, such as Jill Camarena, Vicente Escobedo, Dustin Pedroia, Thomas Hayden Church, Loretto Garza, Alyssa Nathan, and Mungo Thompson. But there are others who gained recent recognition, such as Woodland Community College coach Andres Olmedo, who led the men's soccer team to become Bay Valley Conference champions in their very first year as a team. How about that? By the way, speaking of the soccer team, we look forward to the new soccer field on the college campus breaking ground this summer. Also, many of you may not know, but Woodland-born U.S. Army Sergeant Sagan Madalena was a 2024 Summer Olympics silver medalist, right here from Woodland. This list can go on and on and on. What this tells me is that Woodland is home to so many wonderful people and families. People is what make a city. Not things, not buildings. It's people like you. I can't end my remarks without recognizing all the attendees tonight, representing over 55 community partners such as Dignity Health, the Center for Land-Based Learning, Congressman Thompson's office, Assembly Leader Aguiar Curry's office, PG&E, Senator Baldwin's office, the schools that are here, the college, so many businesses, organizations who contribute so much to make this city what it is. We thank you for your attendance and your devotion to our city. That's all I have for you tonight. I trust that you would agree with me that Woodland is alive, well, and we're moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Landsberg, and my type A is not going to allow. I kind of clean up messes for a living, so it fits. Okay, now I'm going to introduce our city manager, Ken Hyatt. Ken Hyatt is the city manager for Woodland, bringing a wealth of experience to this role. He is a proud native of Yolo County and also an alumnus of UC Davis. Before joining Woodland in 2013, Ken dedicated 20 years to the city of Davis, where he held various positions in planning and economic development. In his current role, he not only oversees the city's operations, but is also committed to enhancing the business climate, stimulating downtown revitalization, managing capital infrastructure projects, and promoting environmental stewardship. Let's give a big round of applause to our city manager, Mr. Ken Hyatt.
All right, thank you, Clay. Good evening, everyone. Mayor Landsberg did a fantastic job covering so many topics tonight, so I don't know how much more I could add to that, but I'll do my best. I also recognize I'm the last thing standing in the way of a fantastic dinner next door, so I will do my best to get through this pretty quickly, but I do have some remarks that I hope will impress upon you and help us build a stronger collaboration in the community going forward. But before I jump in, I want to thank Cynthia and her amazing staff and the board of the Chamber of Commerce for another fantastic event this evening. Also, Dr. Navarrete, the Woodland Community College, for graciously hosting our event in this amazing venue. Really elevates the class and State of the City event, so greatly appreciate that. So the mayor did an excellent job covering some of the routine things that day in and day out our staff do and perform for our community without any recognition, and as well as some of the more high-profile topics and accomplishments. He also set me up really well with his bit on AI, right? My focus tonight was going to be on the future, right? You can't talk about the future without addressing the elephant in the room, which was AI. Like it or not, this technology is going to profoundly change the future of our communities. Just like the Industrial Revolution, advent of the automobile completely disrupted our economies and created a whole new way of doing business in our communities. AI is going to do the same, but it's going to be doing it at a much faster pace. And we're all feeling that and experiencing it today. So just for fun, I asked my IT director, who's really proficient at AI, you should know, to ask ChatGPT, what will the city of Woodland look like in 2050? I specifically asked him not to prompt it with any bias. I don't want to say anything about sustainability, historic downtowns, transportation, great collaboration, great nonprofits, right? Let's not bias it. Let's just see what it comes up with. Nothing. Oh, there we go. So in 2 minutes, it produced 10 different images, many very similar to this one. Not bad, right? Pretty pleasant looking image. The thing that's most impressive to me, there's still humans in the picture. There's still hope. So this technology may seem fun and novel today, but it's not just knocking on the door of change, it's actually in our living room. It's already tapped into our Wi-Fi, and it's changing the way we think and the way we go about our daily lives and the way we run our cities and the way we run our businesses. The days of spending a year doing stakeholder interviews, performing a SWOT analysis, coming up with a 10-year economic development strategic plan are gone, right? We don't have time to sit around and go through that process anymore. The world is going to change before we meet with our first stakeholder. Instead, we now need to focus our precious time, limited financial resources, investing in social and physical infrastructure that will position our community to be able to adapt in real time. If we're going to be effective, we can't afford to be siloed anymore. We can't be exclusive. The more resilient communities will be those that are unified, inclusive, have made strategic investments in the betterment of our collective social, economic, and environmental fabric. Evidence of cities that have successfully prepared for the future will be ones where the youth can get access to technical training to help build companies in this new economy. Those that choose to take the four-year college route, questionable in the future, will return to Woodland, not just to visit. They'll start new companies, they'll raise families, and they'll engage in civic activities. I believe now is the time for us to bet big on Woodland's future. Just as we came together a decade ago to solve our water crisis and waterproof our community, I believe it's time for us to come together and take bold moves to future-proof our economy. Our success in addressing the water challenge did not come through artificial intelligence, but rather, I refer to it as authentic intelligence. This is hard-coded into the DNA that we have here in Woodlands, and we will apply it going forward in the future. Speaking of bold moves, the mayor mentioned the Woodland Research and Technology Park, and I trust, hopefully everybody in here has heard about this project, but for those that are not familiar, the Woodland Research and Technology Park is a city-led vision to develop a dynamic, mixed-use innovation district anchored by 2 million square feet of research and technology space at the southern entry of our community. Aspirationally, the goal for this project is to position Woodland to be synonymous with a place that the world looks to find solutions needed to solve the challenges of feeding not only our own community, but the 8 billion people that will live on this planet in 2050. We're going to be asked, and we're going to step to the challenge to do this while not only using less natural resources, but restoring the damage we have done to our ecosystems. We will produce food that doesn't just satisfy our appetite, but nourishes the body through precision nutrition. It will begin to shift our sick care system back to a healthcare system, all while ensuring the health food is accessible not just to a few, but to everybody, and builds pathways for our local workforce to deliver skills and skill sets needed to solve these challenges. Making this vision a reality is going to take collaborative thinking, collective investment, persistent focus, and a heavy dose of good luck. But luck favors those that are prepared when the opportunity presents itself. And as luck would have it, we have been preparing for this change. Since the 2017 general plan adoption, we included 360 acres in our general plan for this very purpose, to develop the Woodland Research and Technology Park. The project is now fully entitled, has been incorporated into the city limits, and we're currently working with the owners to advance the project towards implementation. We've even recently secured the interest of a nationally recognized development company that has the capacity and shared commitment to the vision that we've developed. In the coming weeks, you'll hear about the release of a request for proposals from the University of California UC system to partner with the Agricultural and Natural Resources program to deliver a global center of innovation for food, ag, and health. We have been positioning Woodland over the last 5 years to be on the short list of communities that will be invited to respond to this request. I'm proud to report that we are on that short list. So here's a current rendering of the facility that is envisioned by the UC system, an Ag and Natural Resources program. This one is not generated by AI. This one has been generated through very thoughtful work by the UC system to develop an integrated research center that, as you can see here, will house greenhouses, wet lab space, incubator spaces for new companies, hold conferences and training that will bring people from around the world to study this world-changing research. We'll have vertical farms, experimental kitchens, nutrition labs, and a biomanufacturing facility. The operational concept behind that building, as you see here, has sort of 4 core tenets. Purpose is to help catalyze startup companies, incorporate industry research and development in an open innovation platform where both research and industry can collaborate together on new innovations. Workforce and networking, so we'll integrate both high school and Woodland Community College students into this facility so they can work alongside these world-leading researchers to train them on this new technology and be part of that process. And it'll also perform contract manufacturing. These types of facilities are critical, we found, in ecosystems where these young startup companies don't have the capital available to them to start going to scale. And so having a contract facility where all that equipment is available for use and rent to scale their production is essential to take those companies out of the incubator stage and into viable commercial space that ultimately, we hope, will occupy the Research and Technology Park. I may be biased, but clearly there is no better place for this facility than here at Woodland. You know, we have 150 years of agricultural ingenuity under our belt, combined with a history of proven partnerships that we've cultivated between industry, education, healthcare, government, and the many committed nonprofits that we are blessed to have in this community, including ones that are very specifically focused around the food system. To name a few: Center for Land-Based Learning, Build a Food Bank, Woodland Food Closet, Ag Start, and Meals on Wheels. Let us not forget that we are also a stone's throw away from the top agricultural and animal health science research institute in the country, and arguably probably in the world. If that's not reason enough to locate in Woodland, we have some powerhouse representatives that represent our district. Assembly Majority Leader Aguiar Curry, as well as now Senator Christopher Cabaldon, are some of the best advocates that we can have alongside of us to make this project a reality. Not to mention at the federal level, Congressman Mike Thompson, who has agreed to sponsor and submit our project for a federal earmark request. We're optimistic that with those political leaders, we can help bring not just the political capital, but also the financial capital necessary to make this project a reality. It's opportunities like this that will position Woodland's economy to be a relevant player in the new economy. I encourage everyone in this room to think about how you might individually help shape and bring this vision to a reality. Okay, so bear with me now as I abruptly exit off the freeway of aspiration onto a more relevant and mundane topic that the mayor challenged me to address this evening, and that is the East Main Street corridor congestion. Many of you have observed this and probably been in this very condition, and it's getting worse, I do admit. It's a little bit of history about how this situation came about. This stretch of East Main Street now currently functions as a interconnection between I-5 and 113, as you probably have used yourselves. It used to, back when 113 was originally realigned and built, had a connector as part of the original project. It was cut out of the budget of the original construction for financial reasons, but also because I believe our community was asleep at the wheel, and we didn't advocate to make sure that this critical improvement was made 40 years ago. So fast forward, we have continued to advocate at the regional level to keep that connector project in the Metropolitan Transportation Plan. Has not always been easy. Of the over 60 projects in the last 30 years in the Metropolitan Transportation Plan that have been completed, this is the only one that is still in there, right? So we're tired of waiting for our state partners at Caltrans to see this as a priority. We recognize how many challenges they have within our region to try to solve from the freeway system, but enough is enough. It's getting worse as the east area over by the airport becomes more and more robust logistics center. Of course, you've seen all the houses going up in Natomas and beyond. All that traffic is now trying to get past the causeway on I-80 to I-80, using Woodland as a way to do that. So we've been meeting recently with Caltrans saying we need to solve this immediate challenge, and I'll get to that in a minute, some of the strategies that we'll do to take a little bit of the relief pressure off. But the long-term fix is this connector project you see here. We have made progress with Caltrans 20 years ago plus. We actually designed a connector project. At the time, it was about $60 to $70 million project, which is why the project has not been sort of prioritized given its cost and relative, in the region's perspective, sort of limited benefit. We have performed about 90% of the design for that connector project. We have the majority of the right-of-way actually already acquired, so we're in a good position to advance the project. So seeing little regional leadership stepping up to help advocate, we sort of filled that void in the last several years. We were successful. Thank you, Lucy, for Congressman Thompson's earmark request that provided $1 million to help us jumpstart updating the design and engineering of the project to right-size it, we'll say. We also hope to hear in 2 to 3 days that we were successful in another $5 million grant that we've submitted to U.S. Department of Transportation that will help us complete the design of this connector project. And hopefully, within the next 10 years, you'll be able to enjoy this experience. So, in the interim, we got a significant challenge to deal with. First thing we did was about 6 months ago, City Council was asked to amend the truck route map. Prior to that, trucks coming from Natomas, the logistics center, Mecca over there by the airport, were allowed to get off the freeway, use East Main Street to get on southbound 113. We've now made that movement illegal, asking truck drivers to go up to East Street, which is just literally 1.5 miles north of this interchange, where there's no congestion, get off the freeway, and you can head south on 113 easily. So that pattern of behavior is going to start to change once the signs go up next month. We will start enforcement of that as well at the same time, but we're educating truck drivers to start that behavior sooner rather than later. We're also doing enforcement on the freeway traffic getting off, particularly the northbound I-5 off-ramp that likes to block the intersection. So our police department traffic patrol division's doing a great job of letting folks know that we have a community here that you're interrupting, and we do want to let the cars through on East Main Street. We met with Caltrans 2 weeks ago. We are going to push them to adjust the signal timing so that the throughput on East Main Street becomes a higher level priority as opposed to the freeway exiting traffic. And then the last thing I do want to note, that hopefully will not make the situation worse, but we will be adding freeway reader board signs for folks to encourage to go to the East Street exit. We're going to be, believe it or not, closing the off-ramp northbound 113 onto Gibson so that we can complete an improvement to that free right turn exit off the freeway starting right after 4th of July. A project will last about 7 weeks. During that time, northbound traffic, again, will be directed to either East Main Street or preferably up to East Street to avoid further congestion there. So bear with us through that, and we're working very closely with Caltrans to see what they can do to help us mitigate some of that. Okay, so in closing, enough on East Main Street. Happy to talk to anybody further afterwards on that topic. But I've heard your challenge, Mayor, and we'll rise to it. So in closing, I just want to say deeply humbled to be able to serve as your city manager for this community. We certainly cherish it. Grateful for the partnership I have with the 5 council members that truly in their heart care about this community, and they serve this community, I think, as well as any council throughout the state of California. So thank you for that. With that, I'll conclude. Let's go eat. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Ken Hyatt. He gets to start early on the dinner, I guess. Everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you, Mayor Landsberg. Thank you, Ken Hyatt, for graciously agreeing to be our speakers this evening. We truly appreciate them, their ongoing efforts to make Woodland an exceptional place to live, work, and do business. So a big round of applause for Mayor Landsberg and Mr. Ken Hyatt. We also want to give a big shout out to the City of Woodland, to Dignity Health, Woodland Community College, and all of tonight's sponsors. Thank you for making this event possible. And then, of course, thank you to our special events and planning committee, the chamber staff, Cynthia, Spencer, Destiny. They're amazing. We couldn't do this without them. And also to Anderson Family Catering. We're going to be enjoying them a little bit shortly. And then a recording of tonight's program will be provided by Woodland TV, Channel 21. And again, to all of our sponsors and guests, to all of you, thank you for being here tonight. This concludes our program. Go enjoy dinner and live entertainment by the Jim Hilliard Trio. Have a great night.
Yeah, I got caught.